All right. Greetings and welcome to the Hawkeye Rising YouTube channel. 5 October, 5/10, 10/5, not 10/4, 10/5, 2023. All right, let's see. Nice to talk with you again. How are y'all doing out there on the flat earth? Broadcasting from Western Canada. Let's see. Oh, as is my custom, this is your Hawkeye, your host. Welcome. 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 I just want to make sure that I'm sharing the screen. Well, I had a royal cluster F. Well, no, not a royal. That's I know, hyperbole, exaggeration. Yesterday, pardon me, one moment. What started off so for October 4th, being the St. Francis of Assisi feast day, Bellarmine, Teresa of Avila, Henrietta Lacks, significant for me. And then, of course, there's the inevitable tie-in. There's already a tie-in for me for 311, in which the cap had commented on, which Johnny had commented on as well, and just wanted to add to that. And I absolutely forgot, even though I had some notes. But of course, here we have. Remember that Jorge Mario Bergoglio come on, you can do it. We have the papacy. Remember when back in 2013, Benedict the 16th prematurely announced his retirement as Pope. 11 February, so 211, which has a significant Sun Tzuan drumbeat connection. We'll look at that in a moment. And then officially stepped down as Pope 28 February 2013. Where is it? So at the 2013 Papal Conclave was convened 12 March 2013 to elect a Pope to succeed Benedict XVI, who had resigned on 28 February, obviously 2013, 115. It's funny. There's in some ways, one can examine that and see either 115 or 11.5. And of course, with using that with November 5th, remember the 5th of November, participating cardinal electors gathered on the 5th ballot. The conclave elected Cardinal Jorge Mario Bergoglio, S.J., Archbishop of Buenos Aires. He took the pontifical name, the first in history to take the name Francis. So look at this. So a couple points that I forgot to mention yesterday, but there we go. It just means that I get to broadcast again today. So hello, the day after. Here we go again. So Latin baby names meaning. Look at this. In Latin baby names, the meaning of Mario is Thor. We got Hammer, Mars, Roman god of war. Also, one of the number of masculine variants of Mary that can be attributed to the Virgin Mary. Just like names have meanings, right? Just like when we see in part, when we're looking at like Peter Hans Kolvenbach, Hans is John. But when we're looking at Jorge or George, the English variant of Jorge, and then Mario, Mary. So George Mary. I wonder if, let's see if Bergoglio name. Well, a submission from the United Kingdom says the name Bergoglio means Pope. Yeah, I'm sure it does. After the name Bergoglio has an Iberi word, and it means green. I'm sure whether the breakdown, whether it's berg, mountain, or hill, who knows? This is fascinating. What if there's a meaning behind? But we're not here for that, or we potentially could be, but we don't need to go down that road at the moment. But I just wanted to point out the fact that Jorge Mario Bergoglio, George Mary, George the Hammer. Also, too, on top of so back to the Papal Conclave in 2013 began on March 12, and March 12, death day anniversary of 9th Jesuit Superior General Aloysius or Alessandro Luigi Gottfriedi. One of a number of there's a lot. It's almost like a river. I want to say May 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, potentially even 6th. There are black popes or Jesuit superior generals attached to a number of dates in the beginning of May, whether they're birth dates, death dates, just from remembrance. I don't want to start guessing, but nonetheless, I just wanted to point out 12 March 1652. So Gottfriedi died, his given death date. So the fact that here we have a Sansuan drum beat, the second day of the 2013 Papal Conclave, supposedly began on 12 March. And then, of course, there was this potential tie to, did this process actually begin on 11 March? Of course, depending on your time zone, depending on are we with the Gregorian calendar, midnight to midnight, or and then, of course, applying the time zone as well, or is it at sundown on a particular place on the flat Earth clock face? And I'm mentioning this because, so back to this idea of March 11th, 311. Let's see. So these are just from notes, and I apologize. Yesterday I was looking for my blog post, which I had not turned this into, but it had to do with Skiba time, Tom Hanks, 211, 311, and then of course, reconnecting the film Joker, released 4 October 2019, just before Event 201 on 18 October 2019, and then the so-called tabletop exercise rehearsing a quote unquote global pandemic. So we don't have to go down this road at the moment, since we haven't hit 10/13 yet, October 13. But Skiba missionary in Wuhan, China in 06. Then of course there's some links, but I did want to point out. So 211 or 11/2, the same clock, essentially the same clock position, or 11/11, in part in Castaway. And Castaway being, we're going back to, did I write down the time? I believe it was December 2000, Castaway being released. But since we're talking about time clock significance, okay, so there's some interesting points. Another filmmaker or a YouTube content creator who is now I'm forgetting, when did the man passed away? Brilliant channel, and now I'm forgetting the name of the bloody channel. But pointed out that exactly the exact the midpoint of the film Castaway, where Tom Hanks's character Chuck Nolan is creating fire, and he breaks the fire making stick, I think, and that's when he cuts his hand and then casts it away for whatever it is. So there's back to this idea of referencing Psalm 46 and Shakespeare, break break spear or shake spear in Psalm 4 that appears in Psalm 46. In the name Shakespeare, there are 4 vowels, 6 consonants. Okay, well, very well. Turn to Psalm 46. You will find that the 46th word from the beginning is shake, and 46th word from the end is spear. Again, this idea that here's this film, and however many minutes, whether it's 120 or 1 to the second, the exact midpoint is when Hanks breaks the fire making stick, cuts his hand, and casts it away. But the beginning of Castaway, Tom Hanks as Chuck Nolan. Oh, look at this, December 7th. So we have our Pearl Harbor anniversary date. Oh yeah, look at that. Not just in my mind, but I also wrote it down. And the scene with 211 or 11 to reference or 156. And then this is what Nolan's character said, or Hanks's character as Chuck Nolan did the FedEx. The FedEx time not time cop, what would you call him? Taskmaster in I can't remember which Eastern European city he is in or visiting. But the fact that he states we live or do we die by the clock, and we never allow ourselves the sin of losing track of time in this scene. And then of course noting the clock, 11:02 or 2:11 or 11 or 1:56. But of course, remember, it's like Malcolm Gladwell's thin slicing. When you look at that, what's the close? It's not about it could potentially be the exact time to the minute, or it's what numbers are the hands closest to. And of course, right away, without even thinking, it's 11:02 or 2:11. I've not looked into Tom Hanks, but I vaguely remember something about him. 3/11, March 11th, beginning. Well, Hanks' family's religious history was Catholic and Mormon. One journalist characterizes Hanks' teenage self being Bible-toting evangelical for several years. Hanks's tweet. Okay, let's see if this is actually still, or will it just come up as X? X for Xavier. Brand X, Disease X, X-Men, Weapon X. Yeah. March 11, 2020. It's June 14. Or sorry, 6. Yeah, now I'm looking at time as month A. Tell how I've been trained or programmed, whatever you want to call it. So 6/14. June being the 6th month and 14. So remember our what was it that on Trump's whatever 70-something birthday. Remember, June 14th is also I believe it's the death day anniversary for Pierre Charles L'Enfant, architect of Washington, D.C., laying out the pentagram, stylized pentagram within the city streets and significant buildings. Time and date, just again, does it apply? I think in part, yes, it does. So on 3/11/2020, we get this tweet. Hello, folks. Rita and I are down here on the street. Here we are. Yeah, we felt a bit tired, like we had colds. Anyway, I'll put this link in the. But back to these cryptic as AF photos that Tom Hanks would take and post, and then this Spanx Hanks signature. Just yeah, no, it was. Get an interesting vibe from the dude, and it's been like that for a while. Like somehow, what makes him? Is he the only good guy in Hollywood, And then of course being a part of like what at the very beginning, like whether that tweet, of course, post Kobe Bryant helicopter, Sikorsky, devout Eastern Orthodox helicopter namesake death. What day did the coronavirus pandemic take over your life? Okay, so here's from BuzzFeed. So this was posted March 11, 2021. For most people in the US, it was March 11, 2020. By that night, coronavirus had transformed. So Mary worship The Jesuit mindset had transformed from a blurry threat to a divorce from normal life. Schools and entertainment began to close. Then President Donald Trump addressed the nation, announcing a suspension of travel from Europe. The National Basketball Association halted its season. Tom Hanks got it. Got the laryngitis, the Wuhan cough, the pangolin cough, as in part it had been timely or untimely joked or titled. Even the experts of the World Health Organization, remember this organization being founded on the birthday of Jesuit co-founder Francis Xavier, April 7, 1948, would agree that March 11th was a turning point. That was the date they officially declared COVID-19. Well, remember, coronavirus 2, COVID-19 outbreak, a pandemic. We remember the 2013 Papal Conclave. I'm appreciating that I even addressed this here. We appreciate the 2013 Papal Conclave, 12 and 13th, that led to George Mary Bergoglio's papal ascension and Bergoglio's papacy beginning 13 March 2013. And then, of course, in addition, we also have March 12, 1622. How can we forget? It's the canonization dates of Ignatius Loyola, Francis Xavier, and Teresa of Avila by Gregory the 15th. And then in addition, so 211 or 11-2, 1111 reversed or mirrored from Castaway in Joker. So 19 years, almost to the date. And then, of course, in Joker, remember this time, 1111 appears exactly 3 times. And then, of course, does that infer 311? Perhaps a cryptic reference to 311, not trying to make it more than what it is. We're now in the 3rd year of the pandemic. Could this be Sensun reference to March 11, 2022? Obviously, I wrote this some time ago. Well, even 2022. Now we're in 2020, late 2023. Okay, so and then of course the director of Castaway, so Robert Zemeckis, so born on May 14th, which is the feast day of Saint Corona. It's just fucking hell. Wow, like, how does all this line up? Is this back to this strategizing? Is there a big whiteboard and play by play, literally laid out? Feast day of Saint Corona, and has a son named Alexander Francis. The director, so Robert Lee Zemeckis, born in Chicago on the feast day of Saint Corona. Anyway, and then he attended Catholic grade school, Finger Academy High School. Okay. So again, just wanting to readdress that. I'd forgotten here, back to this idea of a Jesuit Superior General death day anniversary, 12 March, which also has the canonization connection, Sunsuan drumbeat connection with Loyola Xavier, Thanos of Loyola, Teresa of Avila. Remember, and Teresa of Avila, whose death on 4 October 1582 began the Jesuit-created Christopher Clavius Gregorian calendar, the Julian transmogrified. The Gregorian usurped. The Gregorians took over from the Julian, and 4 October became 15 October, with the Thanos finger snap. Okay, so we covered that. So back to this idea of. Now we're back in what also another point I did not cover in the scene in Joker. Remember the fact that we have 10-7, 10-8. So 10-7 and 10-8 having connections to Vladimir Putin, but Vladimir Ladichowski birthdays, and 10-8 the birthday of. It's either 10-8 or 10-9, depending on your source, of John Joseph Mary Amiot, the translator of 13 Articles or Art of War. Sun Tzu, aka Lorenzo Ricci, 18th Jesuit Superior General. But the fact that you have Arthur Fleck, so Arturo Fleck, meaning, in depending on where you are in the world and what language, Flick can mean fuck. Arthur Fleck certainly fucks up Murray Franklin. Remember, Murray Francis, by delivering a distinct head wound to Robert De Niro. Remember, Robert the Black Nero. So there's this play with names, play with characters, what these characters represent. And and back to this idea, the joke. And who's the joke on? The joke to them is on us. But what do we do here? We out these motherfuckers. So who's the joke really on? Because casuistry, sophistry, this mental reservation, this idea that what they're doing cannot be seen, because whether the belief is that we are so asleep, stupid, incapable, and there's where we throw the bullshit flag, because right now with laser vision, it's like, here we are, we see you motherfuckers. And not only us, but imagine, and I wish there was an appropriate image, and apart from the milk toast image that gets it's splattered everywhere on who and what there's a song by the Odds called, what is it? Someone Who's Cool, soft and kind of, what is it? Soft and kind of meatless, like actors who play Jesus. I know when Johnny had published an image, and it was like taking an image of a god man type, very muscular, very violent looking, very old, very ancient, and it's imagining our conceived idea of, we have no idea, and the fact that the images that we've been given from Jonathan Rumi, and those that, wet their pants or wet their eyes, an emotional response is stirred because of, they get to see the eye, on the, what potentially the eyes of Jesus, and emotional expression and the look of compassion. And again, there's the idea of that Inception is real. Inception is real and provided by none other than Jesuit theater. Jesuit Theater 101. And the power of Inception, the power of suggestion. Let's just see what comes up for Zeus. This is what I love also too, and I've shared this my position with via email about I believe there's in the scriptures in Luke, Matthew, and is it Mark? There are to me there are clear references to, so the one that the fact that is Jesus's role as his ministry went on in his final 3 years of life. There was clear this idea that there are other. Okay, it's like, okay, this is such a big. How do I even? The idea, there's a reason why Jesus walked on water. There's a reason why. Just as in closing last night, the one and not just affirming in the scripture the fact that we're given the statement that, behold, now I and Jesus saying, hold the keys to death. I'm alive forevermore, and I hold the keys to death and Hades. that it stirs something in me, like there's a reason why he descended to hell for 3 days and 3 nights, as told to us in 1st and 2nd Peter. And then the idea that he saw Satan fall like lightning. And I believe in part there is a significant reference in our scriptures to other gods, literally other gods, other El or Elohim, where Elohim is a just disembodied spirit. The fact that we have the one that holds the singular lightning rod, the one that holds the bident, Hades, and the one that holds the trident, Poseidon. I also believe in part, and I've said it different times, that the idea, not just Jesus walking on water, but the fact that if his birthday is a legitimate birthday, it was September 11th, 3 BC, and if it was the Feast of Trumpets or Tishri 1, and his birthday connection with Adam, with Noah, potentially even with Adam, the fact that there's an alignment with Noah, and then of course the idea of what the purpose of the flood, what was killed in the flood, what came after the flood, but there's this flood connection. Even the idea of John the Baptist having to, or Jesus coming to his cousin to be baptized, and where's the precedent? There are subtle references here and there, but nothing explicit in the scriptures about baptism. But except if you go back to flood imagery, and then there are certain accounts given along the way involving water. Anyway, I just I want to go Hawkeye and getting buried in the buried in the earth. Okay, back to Loash's God of Freddy. So 9th, Jesuit Superior General. Just wanted to make this connection. 12 March. This idea that we have a film, again released on 4 October 2019, that involves Arturo Sosa giving Francis, delivering a head wound. And then, of course, again, within this film, we have the 3:11 the clock reference to 11:11 3 times. And then the 4th, there's a clock appearance just prior to this. And it's 10. Oh, shit. So, again, between 10:7, 10:8. So, Jesuit connections. Back to Arturo Sosa, 1948. So born the same year that of the creation of the World Health Organization. Remember Ryan Gosling, and which I pointed out as well in some of my previous found footage short films, the fact that Gosling's characters, like in Nicholas Winding Refn's Only God Forgives, the most recent Barbie, released alongside Oppenheimer on the 250th on the 250th anniversary day of the Jesuit suppression, July 21st this year. We have the release of Barbie, and of course Gosling playing Ken, and I've not seen it, but there are clear scenes where Gosling is as Ken in black. All right, Bergoglio, Jorge, George, Mary. Mario is Mary. Mario is Hammer. Mario is Mary. So, back to this idea. Well, it's those that say they believe in Jesus Christ, and you say, well, I have to say, well, okay, which one? The one who wears white, the one who wears black, or the one that holds the keys to death in Hades? Hey, Smoggy G. Hey, breakfast with Hawkeye. There you go. What's on the menu, brother? You don't have to say. Don't say Greek breakfast, because again, that's what do we say? That's a glass of water, a cigarette, and black, whether it's espresso or strong black coffee. If you're smoking, you better quit your ass. Fuck, I just started, and it's look at this 30 minutes later. All right, tea and toast today. Awesome. Oh, and speaking of which, Marie, yes, I love Stephanie Seneff too. It can be hard to say. Okay, what team is she playing for? Not hey, same litmus test, same thing. It's like, okay, a lot of her information is good, and then just doing the digging, and that doesn't take away from a lot of the great points that she has certainly raised. Okay, I think. All right, enjoy your tea, enjoy your toast. Cheers to that. All right, brothers, sisters, wherever you're at, this night, this morning, whenever you're hearing this, much love to you guys. This is your Hawkeye.